This is FE Peer Review. The date is the 1st of January, 2025. Happy New Year, everybody. Final thoughts on the final experiment. And yes, this is probably going to be the last video I do about the final experiment. I've pretty much said everything I wanted to say in the previous videos, and this is just a quick wrap-up with one final small point. The YouTube algorithm, in its infinite wisdom, decided to throw new Flat Earth channels up onto my feed. So it's still promoting Flat Earth channels. Wouldn't you know it? Anyhow, I had not seen this channel before, Gnostic Academy, but I thought the title was intriguing enough to give it a quick glance. But anyway, I saw this title, The Final Fakery, Thoughts on TFE and an Appeal to Reason. The gentleman who runs this channel calls himself a pastor. I'm not sure what type of Christian denomination he is. Might be some kind of Orthodox, but I'm not sure about that. Anyhow, he is a flat earther, and his whole channel is geared towards appealing to flat earthers. But he opened this video with a statement in which he said in which he was encouraging his viewers not to level unsupportable accusations of lying, hoaxes, fraudulence, this kind of thing. He was pointing out that it's wrong to do that. It's wrong to accuse people of things if you don't have evidence they've actually done wrong. So he was appealing not so much to their reason as to their moral sense. And I appreciated that, and I left him a little comment. I said, thank you for pointing out the immorality and unethical reality of the accusations. I've been doing the same in my recent videos. But after the first minute or two of his video, he then proceeded to go down a rabbit hole in which he was putting out there all the same conspiracies as everyone else, and claiming that NASA and all the other space agencies and all of these organizations and scientists all over the world were all spreading frauds and hoaxes. So he was like completely contradicting himself, at which point I got a little bit annoyed. So I left a comment, which I'm going to briefly read here, and then I'm going to segue on to one last other little item. Loads of people coming out of the woodwork with cries of hoax and fake. It's just a sign that they can't face the reality of what the TFE folks saw down there. None of the people crying, "The shadows look weird," have a shred of evidence of any kind of hoax on the part of the TFE group, or they would have presented it. The TFE group was meticulous about showing where they were, when they were there, etc. And yes, they saw the sun staying above the horizon for well over 24 hours, and not only that, they saw it do a full 360-degree rotation in the sky around their location. From the very start, the point of TFE was to document that and show that it contradicted definite claims made by prominent flat earthers saying that the 24-hour sun can't do that. It did. Suck it up. That means that any flat earth map, even vaguely resembling the Gleason map, is a geometric impossibility. There is no Gleason-resembling geometric solution for a flat earth map where the sun can do both a 360 24-hour setup in the Arctic and another in the Antarctic, keeping in mind that the globe solution not only works for those two locations, but also for every other location on the planet at the same time as well. I'll add one more point: every day of the year. So it's back to square one for flat earthers. Not that they ever left it square one. In all these years, they have never presented a 2D map of the flat earth that is in any way accurate in terms of what is measured on the ground on our real beautiful planet. When do we see the map? I'm going to go back and touch on the point of the previous paragraph, Gleason map. I've got a copy of the Gleason map on the screen here, and down at the bottom I've got a little red crosshairs. That's the approximate location of Union Glacier Camp. I've also marked two other Antarctic stations, McMurdo Station and Davis Station. Now, when our TFE friends were down in Union Glacier, they saw the sun doing a circle counterclockwise. Standing here, looking off to the east, it was coming around, traveling north, and then coming around to the west and then dipping down on the south side but staying above the horizon and then gradually rising again as it made its way around into the north. So the circle, the arrow, points in the direction that the sun was moving. That's what they saw at Union Glacier. Now, the size of this circle is not important. The radius, I just drew it so that it would be large enough that it could be easily seen on the screen. So no need to be concerned about the size of that circle. That's not the point of it. The point is simply to show the direction that the sun was moving in, as they saw it from their point of view at Union Glacier. But I'm going to point out that at the same time that they were experiencing that, the people at McMurdo Station and the people at Davis Station were seeing the same thing. They were seeing the sun go around them a full 360 degrees, rotating counterclockwise. Whereas the folks up in the far north, in the upper regions of Canada, northern Alaska, Scandinavia, northern Russia, they were in 24-hour darkness all that time. And when the summertime comes for them, 6 months later, they do see the 24-hour sun above the horizon circling around, but it circles in the other direction. It's rotating clockwise. So this is the geometry that flat earthers need to resolve if they want to use anything vaguely resembling a Gleason map. And that was what I was referring to in this paragraph here in my comment. I'm editing this in after the fact. I just thought it would be worthwhile to slip in a few images here. What we see here is a webcam at the Davis Research Station in Antarctica. That's one of the 3 Antarctic locations I showed on the Gleason map. As we can see, it's daytime there. Bit cloudy skies, but there's enough sunlight coming through to see shadows on the ground. I also have a webcam for McMurdo Station. We see the McMurdo Station here. Seems to be a bit foggier or hazier in McMurdo at the moment, but definitely daylight. So they're still enjoying their 24-hour days there. But meanwhile, I've got a webcam here up in Barrow, Alaska, which is up on the north coast of Alaska. It's about as far north as you can get in Alaska. And we see here the webcam for Barrow, which is pitch black because it's nighttime. It's cut off by the frame here, but on the right side it says clear day visual reference, and the reference part got cut off. And that's not a webcam image. That's just a fixed still image that's placed to show you what the webcam is pointed at. So we've got the actual webcam here in the dark, 24-hour night in Barrow, Alaska right now. You can see the date up on the top of the screen, 1st of January 2025, 15:22. That would be 3:22 in the afternoon. And at Davis, let's see if there's a time on here. 1st of January 2025, 10:25 p.m. That would be the Davis station time. And I check out the McMurdo. Let's see if there's any indication here of time on it. Refreshing in 21 seconds. January 1st, 2025, 6:24 p.m. UTC. So there you go. There's 3 webcam images from those 3 locations, all taken at within a few seconds of the same time of each other. Now, I noticed after I put the comment up that it returned an error, and neither of my comments are appearing on the gentleman's channel. I've never visited his channel before, so I'm a little confused at that. I can't imagine I was banned since I'd never been there before. It's probably YouTube acting up. I have a feeling my comment disappeared into the void. I was able to get a screen capture of it, fortunately. But I just wanted to clarify what that was about there. The problem that flat earthers face with regard to what they saw at Union Glacier. Now, the bigger problem is that they can't even create something as basic as a map that works. To me, that just seems ridiculous. On that basis, to try to make claims is absurd. But I want to add one more little point here, and that's that all of this is very old news. I'm going to refer you all back to 2017, October 1st. Sly Sparkane spearheaded a group effort of people all over the world who did an observation of the sun. I believe they did their observations on the autumn equinox. I'm not 100% sure about the date, but I think it was the autumn equinox. And people all over the globe sent Sly Sparkane the data of their sun observations. And he assembled it all, and he put it into a beautiful video in which he showed that all these 20 or so observations did not point towards a sun when mapped out on the flat Earth. They all pointed in different directions. But when those same observations were mapped out on the sphere of the Earth, they all pointed parallel in the direction of a sun. So his is a beautiful video, and I'm going to point to that. And my reason for bringing this up is simply to demonstrate that when a group of people work together, they can actually accomplish something. There's 20 or so people involved in that project. They all coordinated. They all did a good job of gathering their data. It all got put together, and there was a final result that led to a clear conclusion. It worked. You know, a group of people can do this. So why are flat earthers all over the world not doing the same? Why can't they get themselves together, come up with some kind of schema like this one, some kind of project where they can all make their observations, pool their data, put it all together, and show the rest of the world? Why hasn't it happened? I think we all know why it hasn't happened. Because I think most of them know full well that they're completely incapable of doing so, or if they are capable of doing it, they know what the results are going to be. I'd like to add in one more here. I Can Science That, the channel I Can Science That, did a similar project back in 2021. And he got I think 30 people, might have included himself in that 30, to do another set of similar observations. He gathered the sun observations from all these people and put them together in a series of videos. Here we're just seeing the raw results, as the video title says, but he had several other videos that he put together as a part of this project to analyze the data that was collected by this group of people from all over the world. Again, 30 people from all over the world contributed to this. He expressly invited flat earthers to participate. Only one flat earther contributed data to this set of data. Unfortunately, only one person did. There was one other flat earther who wanted to, but the sky was overcast, so she couldn't, which is totally understandable. But I just want to emphasize again the point that, you know, this is a group effort, and they succeeded as a group in working together to gather much more information than any of them could have done on their own. And the result is powerful. So I toss the ball back in the court of flat earthers. You're a community. Act like one. Okay, that's enough. Back to the original video here. I just wanted to add this little snippet in before I wrapped it up. Anyhow, I think that's all I have to say about the final experiment. I covered it all pretty well in the previous videos. And I think it's going to be time for me to move on to some other things. As the TFE team comes out with more work of their own, I'm sure there'll be some new thoughts, but mostly it's just going to be a repetition of the same old. So friends, do leave a comment if you've got anything you want to say about this, and hit the like button if you haven't already. And with that, I'll be wishing you a Happy New Year.